This is the original high-speed train of Spain. Join me at 300 kilometers an hour between Madrid and Barcelona. We'll check out the lounge, the first-class seats, and the questionable onboard dining today on Markus Travels. The route we're exploring today is the most important high-speed route in Spain. It runs between the two largest cities, Madrid in the middle of the country and Barcelona in the northeast by the Mediterranean Sea. The line is 621 kilometers and the full journey takes only around 2.5 hours. The maximum speed of this line is 300 kilometers an hour, which is 186 miles per hour. There are multiple high-speed rail operators in Spain and I'm trying the original one, the AVE. It's operated by Renfe, the state railway company. I have a first-class ticket, which gives me access to the Renfe Club Lounge. Welcome to the Renfe Club Lounge here at the Atocha train station in Madrid. My train will depart in about 45 minutes, so let's look around, grab ourselves a little snack and a drink before we head to the platform. I've already passed through the mandatory luggage screening process, which is not particularly pleasant. But at least you don't have to put all your things in bins. All I have to do was remove my bag and my jacket, but there was no bin for that, so I just put it on the floor, or the conveyor belt rather. Not the most ideal system. Spain has the largest high-speed rail network in Europe and the second largest in the world. Only China's network is bigger. That means that the Spanish network is larger than countries famous for high-speed rail like France and even Japan. The name of this product from Renfe is AVE, or Alta Velocidad Español. That just means Spanish high speed. In the clips, you will hear me pronounce it AVE, but I think the correct pronunciation is AVE. AVE means bird in Spanish. After checking out the selection, my impression that this is a very nicely designed lounge with lots of different seating options for solo travelers and for groups. The drink selection is also really solid for a train lounge, and there are some snacks available. I just don't understand why the snacks are individually wrapped in plastic. That seems incredibly wasteful. Overall, a good lounge experience, not on par with the SJ lounges in Sweden, but a solid option to spend an hour before your train departs. When I arrived at the lounge, it was set up for breakfast. At 11 a.m., they changed the selection to more snacks. The snacks, too, were individually wrapped. You might think it's so that you can easily take some with you on the train. That goes for the cans and bottles of drinks, too. But no, they had signs and they made announcements saying that everything is to be consumed only in the lounge. One quirk of high-speed rail in Spain is that you have to put your luggage through an X-ray machine before entering the area where the high-speed rail tracks are located. The area here at Madrid Atocha is not pleasant. There's no place to sit. You can see the crowds wandering around aimlessly. Before you can access the tracks, you have to scan your ticket at the gate, similar to boarding a flight. The ticket I had, the Prémium ticket, should in theory include priority boarding, but it was not set up at our gate, probably because there was a small delay in departure. Although I did see one lady creating her own priority boarding line by simply walking up to the gate agent from the side. That's not my style. I was one of the last people to board. This train looks very familiar. It looks like a German ICE train. And it is, to a large extent. This is a version of the Siemens Velaro, which is based on the German ICE 3. When I board, the most significant observation is that there's luggage everywhere. All available space in the luggage racks is full, so the bags spill over into the vestibule, and some are behind the glass door to the bistro car. I'm not even able to get to my seat because people are moving around huge suitcases trying to find a space. I'm still standing in the vestibule when the train departs Madrid station. The first-class cabin is laid out in a 1+2 configuration. Welcome aboard this AVE train bound for Barcelona, Sants. We departed Madrid a few minutes ago. The boarding and baggage handling process was a complete joke. I'll tell you more from the studio where it's a little bit more quiet and I can control the lighting. I cannot seem to be able to record this clip properly. I've tried to record that clip now 5 times. Maybe it's time to introduce a blooper reel for these videos. The seats look exactly the same as on the ICE, which is great because I really like them. The padding is comfortable. You can adjust the armrests. And there seems to be an entertainment system down here too, but I did not try it. I'm not sure what the valve on the wall is. The legroom, in any case, is excellent. The tray table is big and sturdy, but it's not made for one-handed operation. There is a footrest down here. It locks into place when you lift it to the top position. The seat has a single European power outlet down here. On the other side of the aisle, we have 2 abreast seating with all the same features. For storage, I use the bag shelf for my backpack. This is my smaller Osprey backpack, which I use when flying EasyJet because I can bring it on board free of charge. Learn more about the backpack with the link in the description. The baggage shelf is transparent, so you can easily see if anything is up there. You can fit pretty big bags on the shelf. Unlike many other high-speed trains in Europe, this is a single-level train. That means that there is much more space compared to double-decker trains like the many TGV trains. Renfe sells 4 types of tickets for this service, but there are only 2 actual classes of the hard product. There's standard or second class, and then there's XL Comfort or first class. That's where I'm sitting. Beyond the type of seat, the different ticket types mainly deal with flexibility in terms of changes and cancellations and additional services that are included or not. My ticket is the Prémium ticket, the highest class of ticket. That ticket class should include an outstanding meal. This is the sandwich meal. I think this is the saddest first-class meal I've ever had on a train. There's 1 cheese sandwich, 1 sandwich with some kind of spread, a chocolate muffin, and a single chocolate. But there are 2 wet wipes at least, plus I chose a Coke Zero. If they would have offered me wine, I would have gone with that. The meal service is over. I got the choice between fruits and some sandwiches. I picked the sandwiches, and I'm pretty sure that was the wrong choice. These were some of the most basic white toast sandwiches I've ever had, plus all individually wrapped in plastic. Why? Is Renfe owned by like a plastic manufacturing company or something like that? I don't understand this practice. When I saw in the lounge the poster touting the quality of the food on the AVE service, I had very high hopes. I only caught a glimpse of it. I think it was something like a Michelin star chef has put together the meals, and I get this. What is this? Maybe I should have read the poster more carefully, because the distance between expectations and what I got today is pretty big. Just for reference, this is what the competition offers on the same route. I've seen other content creators getting a completely different meal experience on the AVE. They got a hot towel, they got a menu, and they got a 3-course meal. Renfe advertises this premium meal as follows: the best food served to your seat thanks to our premium menus. A 5-star menu with a touch of Chef Ramon Freixa, a chef who has received 2 Michelin stars and 3 Repsol Suns in his Madrid restaurant. Depressing sandwich box in hand, I spent the journey looking out at the landscape. Let me share some impressions from the AVE service. This is a decent high-speed train. The hard product is comfortable. There's plenty of seats here in the first class car. The seats are very similar to the German ICE trains, which I've ridden a lot, and it's a great seat. There's nothing wrong with it. The carriage is certainly showing its age, but it's comfortable enough. The ride quality, for right, Okay, I was just going to talk about the ride quality, and then we ran into a little bump, which I think you could also hear on the recording. But overall, the ride quality is smooth. It's a bit shaky, but trains are sometimes shaky. I have heard other people complain about the shakiness of this train, but to me, it doesn't bother me. It's kind of nice to be rocked back and forth, but certainly it could be smoother, there's no doubt about that. The views out the window are of the surrounding deserts. Very peaceful actually to look at.
When I've heard other people talking about the nice views from the train, I was like, what is there to look at? It's just the desert, but you know, there's little hills, sometimes there's a few fields. It's actually very meditative to look out the window.
I found the other video I was referencing where the content creator talks about the stunning landscape. It's from the channel On the Rails and it's linked in the description below. I did not understand what he was talking about until I actually sat here and saw the landscape.
The real downside of the AVE Air product is in the soft product. The boarding and luggage handling situation was a complete joke, as was the included meal here in the highest category of service. So one preliminary conclusion is that I would definitely not. Oh, how ironic that the service card is just passing by me there when I was trying to record that clip. Shall we try again? So in terms of the service, I would definitely not pay extra for that. That's a sandwich that you could pick up for €5 at the train station. For me, the real test will be how good is the Iryo service, which I'm going to be taking in the other direction just a few hours after this one. I have very high hopes for that new product, and especially on the catering. I'll put a link in the description below this one to that video when it's live. Until we get to Zaragoza, I'm just going to be enjoying the nice desert views.
The lavatory is decent for a train. Unlike the rectangular lavatories on the ICE, this one is built into a corner. The water was more or less working, but you have to find the sensor quite carefully. There is a hand dryer up here. The lavatory has enough space to both turn around and to sit comfortably on the can. The most unique feature, I think, is the full-length mirror. I cannot remember seeing that on a train before.
Oh yeah, one more thing before I forget on the topic of the toilet review. It smelled really nice in there, and I think it is because they used that blue liquid in the flushing system, and it has some kind of scent to it as well. I think this was the best smelling train lavatory that I can remember.
If you're getting value from the video, please hit the like button. Thank you for doing that. Let's look at some pros and cons of the Renfe AVE service and then close with a recommendation. Firstly, I'm happy that they have high-speed rail in Spain and that it's such an extensive network. There is just no need to fly when a service like the AVE exists. The Siemens trade is comfortable, it's fast, it is a good hard product. The cons are all around the soft product. The chaotic boarding did not appeal to me. The fact that there's too much luggage in the car is an actual safety risk. Big suitcases were blocking the door. There are at least 3 things that Renfe could do to remedy this. They could either take out a few seats and add more luggage space, or they could operate a separate luggage car where you can check in your bags to your final destination. Or they could limit the amount of luggage that you can bring on board. The first-class car was only about half full, yet it was completely overloaded with luggage. The sandwich box was a complete joke compared to the meal service that Renfe advertises. I feel I should have gotten a proper hot lunch for this 11:30 departure. If you want an actual good meal on the train, you should ride Iryo, which is one of the competing products on this line. There's a link to that video review in the description below. Another con with Renfe is that the online booking process is bad. The main problem is if you don't speak Spanish, even if you select English, some of the menus and the choices are still in Spanish. If you click for more information about the ticket types, for example, it will even go back to Spanish. On this trip, I also used the Renfe commuter trains around Madrid. On the Renfe ticket machines, when I chose English, some of the headings changed to English, but most of the actual choices were still in Spanish. Renfe just feels like they're stuck in an era before competition when they didn't have to be great. And they are not great when it comes to technology.
In a few minutes, we'll be arriving in Zaragoza.
I'll give you my recommendation in just a moment. If you got massive value from the video, you can make a small donation by sending a super thanks right here on YouTube. Just click the heart button below. Thank you very much for doing that. Let's talk about the price and the value for money. For this one-way ticket from Madrid to Zaragoza, I paid €98.15. That's just over $100 US. I bought it 9 days before departure. That's not great value for money. I've often booked trips for double the distance on the TGV or on the ICE for far less than that. Still, the hard product is good. And if lounge access is important to you, like it is to me, then Renfe is your only choice. This is how I felt after arriving at my final station at Zaragoza.
Welcome to Zaragoza main station. That was an efficient, quick, smooth, quiet ride on the AVE with terrible service.
Click or tap the screen right here for another problematic high-speed train, the Eurostar, between Amsterdam and Brussels. They also have some work to do on their first-class product, so check out that video now. Thank you very much for watching Markus Travels, and I will see you in the next video. You know, I always say that at the end of my video, but I actually cannot see you. It's more like you can see me. Huh.